Sirianni. One in February over Andy Reid. One in September over Andy Reid and the Chiefs. The Eagles are 2-0. The Chiefs are 0-2. Patrick Mahomes has never seen that in his pro career.
We played two good football teams and made mistakes in big moments, stuff that we're not used to doing. But I think we're coming together as a team, man. I mean, when you deal with adversity, it's about how you deal with it. And obviously, this isn't how we wanted to start, but how are we going to respond? So I'm excited for the next few weeks to see who wants to be challenged and how we can get back and really get after it.
Well, we'll start. Both teams' defense, this was not the Super Bowl, neither of the Super Bowls, obviously, with the score of 2017. What did you see today? Let's start with Philadelphia that impressed you the most.
Well, I think it was their physicality. They only threw for 100 yards. And so the physicality of their offensive line, the physicality of their defensive line, and here was a little nuance. In the Super Bowl, Vic Fangio, the defensive coordinator, blitzed 0 times. Today, he brought pressure early and often. So he changed the game plan up. So I recognize that I no longer have Milton Williams and Josh Sweat, so I have to bring more pressure. So they got after Mahomes. Mahomes ran the football a little bit more, but in the end, it was the physicality of the Eagles, their pressure on Mahomes, and the ability of the Chiefs not to be able to protect Mahomes against the blitz.
Well, and for the Chiefs, look, I mean, they're not going to make excuses. They're down receivers, as we all know, but Kelsey catches the ball. If it keeps in his hands, who knows what the game would have been, but it doesn't matter. They're 0-2. The sky's not falling.
No.
They play Sunday night, the Giants, but they have in the next, this is before Rice comes back with the 6-game suspension. Monday, they play Detroit at home. They have Baltimore at home. Not going to be easy. Not going to be easy. They're going to have to be patient. The old really is one game at a time.
Their margin for error is no longer as big as what it used to be.
That's right.
And so you heard Patrick say, we made some mistakes. No longer can they cover for those mistakes. And I think that's the biggest issue. They have to get back to those fundamentals. And Andy knows that. Andy will watch the tape. They'll correct it. They're still a good football team. By no means are they done.
No.
But they got to correct some things. They got to be able to get some explosive plays. The play to Thornton was good. Can they run the football against a better team to take some pressure off Mahomes?
Once they get some explosive plays, there will be some momentum.
There you go.
So we'll see if Sierra sings the national anthem and they're in trouble, right? If they're at the.
I think that's the most important thing is finding a way to win. And, given the competitive nature of the game and how our games have gone when we play this team, so it's a really good team. We got a ton of respect for them, obviously, but you got to come in with a sense of focus. You got to stay patient within yourself, stay patient within the team and your role, and let things come to you. And I think as a team, we showed up when we needed to the most, and that's the most important thing in this league is finding ways to win. Jake Elliott showing up and making a big-time kick before half, and earlier in the game as well. Defense showing up and getting a turnover when it was needed, and we know how important the turnover battle is. Being able to play turnover-free football, in a sense, that helps as well. And showing up when the moment requires someone to show up. And hell of a play by Smitty. Same play he made 2 years ago, the same part of the field, other one ended in a score. I just think overall everybody's staying within themselves and finding a way to win is something that you have to take pride in. Take pride in finding a way. Take pride in winning one, and take pride in what is required of you to win. And I think as a team, defensively they played lights out. Offensively, we showed up when we needed to. 2-6, showed up when we needed him to, and we just want to continue to build.
What led to that moment with the pass to Devontae? Knowing that they were blitzing you a lot and throwing a lot of coverage here at you, were there discussions about going back to him, or if that would happen again?
Yeah, well, it was a bit of a happening. It's something that I think when you come into a game, there's a level of patience you have to have, right? You got to take what they give you, while being the aggressor and playing with aggression. And I think we were not as patient as we could have been earlier in the game. I'd have to really assess the film to be able to follow that up. But I think in the second half, we kind of let things come to us, and we play with great instinct. And Smitty, was ready for the adjustment, and we made a big time play. But I think overall, really playing it within yourself. I think that's very important when you talk about winning football. Play within yourself, and win situationally.
You had that explosive play to spin here. What do you think the key is to maybe have more explosives in the offense outside of the big play today?
Yeah, it's about being efficient in what you do, one. And secondly, putting ourselves in positions to do that. And the game isn't necessarily won off of fireworks. It's won off of scoring more points than the other team. And so that's what we're able to do. And that's complementary football. That's what it's about. In the end, you play the game for one reason. You play the game to win, nothing more, nothing less. And I'm happy that we were able to find a way to win.
Speaking of Devontae, he came down pretty hard on his back or something like that. We saw him leaving here, limping and hurting. How tough is he to come back and make that?
He came down on his back, but he came up in the clutch. And what else could you ask for?
What are you finding about the way defenses have been playing you so far in these 2 games? It seems like yards are kind of hard to come by and everything. Are they doing anything differently than maybe what you guys saw in the past?
There's some different nuances there. I think that defenses show to try and present different structures in what they do. Ultimately, it's just about us going out there and playing our game, and just continue to find out what our identity is. I'd be lying to you if I said that we were established and we know exactly who we are. But who knows who they are in week 2? Who knows who they are in week 1? Who knows who they are in that first quarter of the season? And so it's just about staying diligent, staying together, and finding ways to win. We can go back to the film room and assess these things, but when you have a level of mental toughness to yourself and you're able to stay focused and remain disciplined and play good fundamental football to a sense, you find ways to win.
You mentioned you made an adjustment on the big play to Devontae. Can you kind of take us through maybe pre-snap what you saw and the details of the play that led you to make the adjustment and get the big play?
Well, just letting it come to you. That was a moment where we discussed it, and it presented itself again, and we took advantage of the opportunity. I just think that's a big-time play, right? They were matching out coverage and very tight in coverage when they brought pressure, and that's a problem, but you see a lot of contested catches. We made some, we didn't connect on some, but I'm just happy that we connected when it mattered the most. So I got a lot of respect for Spags and their defense. They play as a complete unit. They play together. They fly to the ball, and they're disruptive on the quarterback, and so we know the challenge of playing those guys.
The pre-snap, just real quick, I follow up. The pre-snap adjustments you make at this point in your career, it doesn't really show up in the stat sheet, but how much pride do you take in, at this point, being able to adjust pre-snap and get the offense where it needs to be to make a big play?
I take great pride in doing whatever is required to win. Sometimes that's making adjustments, sometimes that's not. Sometimes that's getting us in the right play in the run game. Sometimes that's making, whatever it takes or having a conversation so we can move forward offensively. But it's just about finding ways to win. It doesn't matter how it looks. Like I said, I play the game to win. Nothing more, nothing less.
Take 2 more.
And finding out who you are as an offense, it seems like yourself as a runner has been featured in this offense before, and first couple of weeks seems like it's less design runs, a little bit more scrambling. Is that something that you've noticed, something that you would like to see more? Is there a reason for that at this point?
That's a conversation for Coach Patullo for KP. But ultimately, finding ways to win and continue to find out what is our identity as an offense. And, those things change as things go on and time goes on. But it's a matter of being able to put yourself in positions to find a way to win.
Time for one more.
A big hit from 55. Where does that sort of rank in terms of the big hits that you've taken, and how long does it take to sort of bounce back from that?
I'm fine. Got right back up.
Okay. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Joe.